In 1991, the neon lights of 80s metal were extinguished overnight. As grunge exploded out of Seattle, the world's biggest rock stars became endangered species. Labels dropped them, MTV stopped calling, and the stadium-packing giants of the 80s were suddenly yesterday's news. To survive, they had to adapt. Some fell flat on their faces in a panic. Others made forgotten masterpieces. And a few? They actually conquered the decade by getting even heavier. We're counting down the metal legends who tried to survive the 90s. From the worst train wrecks to the ultimate success stories. Coming in at number 10 is Kiss. Their mid-90s pivot, Carnival of Souls, was the most forced transition of the decade. Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley ditched the party anthems, grew out their hair, and tried to write bleak, down-tuned grunge songs. It completely alienated their core fans. But mid-stride, the band realized a full makeup nostalgia reunion with the original lineup would make them a fortune. They quickly swept the grunge album under the rug, put the makeup back on, and launched a massive, lucrative stadium tour, leaving Carnival of Souls to be quietly dumped into stores a year later with zero promotion. At number 9, Warrant. Doomed by the bubblegum stigma of cherry pie, frontman Janny Lane fought back by steering the band into 1992's Dog Eat Dog. This wasn't pop metal. It was a dark, heavy, and socially conscious record. Lane famously knew the hair era was dead when he saw an Alice in Chains poster in his record label's hallway. While Dog Eat Dog didn't save their commercial career at the time, history has been incredibly kind to it. Today, it's a cult classic revered for its sheer depth and brilliant songwriting. Number 8, Queensrÿche. Unlike other bands on this list, their 90s pivot wasn't a cynical cash grab. It was an honest artistic evolution. 1997's Here in the Now Frontier stripped away the band's signature progressive metal, replacing complex sci-fi concepts with a grounded alternative rock approach. But while the music was sincere, it fractured their foundation. The album divided die-hard fans, sold poorly, and kicked off a brutal era of internal instability that resulted in founding guitarist Chris DeGarmo leaving the band. At number 7, Mötley Crüe. This one is a tragedy of business reality. In 1992, the Crüe fired Vince Neil and hired powerhouse vocalist John Corabi. Their self-titled 1994 album is, sonically speaking, an absolute masterpiece of heavy, raw alternative metal. It was aggressive, modern, and light years ahead of their 80s glam sound. The problem? Mainstream audiences flat out refused to accept a Mötley Crüe without Vince Neil. It stands as a brilliant creative triumph that was utterly crushed by a changing commercial landscape. Number 6 is Skid Row. In the late 80s, they were pop metal royalty. But by 1995, instead of chasing the grunge trend, they chose to fight it by getting brutally heavy. They hired Metallica's legendary producer, Bob Rock, and unleashed Subhuman Race. It was an angry, abrasive, down-tuned assault of alternative thrash and groove metal. It was an uncompromising statement, but it proved too jarring for the mainstream airwaves. The album underperformed, tensions boiled over, and the classic lineup fractured shortly after. Coming in at number 5 is Judas Priest. When iconic frontman Rob Halford left the band in the 90s, the gods of British heavy metal didn't pack it in. Instead, they hired Tim "Ripper" Owens and underwent a shocking sonic mutation. 1997's Jugulator completely abandoned traditional classic metal. Intimidated by the heavy 90s landscape, Priest went full down-tuned groove metal. Borrowing heavily from bands like Pantera. It remains one of the most polarizing and aggressively heavy shifts in rock history. Number 4. Def Leppard. By 1996, the band knew their signature, multi-layered pop metal production was dead in the water. Their response was slang. It was a brave, calculated risk, a dark, acoustic-heavy, and minimalist record that stripped away the studio magic for a raw, organic band sound. While it didn't replicate their multi-platinum 80s sales, it did something more important. It kept the band unified, proved they could evolve, and protected their legendary melodic identity without looking desperate. At number 3, Megadeth. Dave Mustaine survived the 90s by perfecting the art of the radio transition. Instead of mimicking Seattle or alienating his base, Mustaine streamlined Megadeth's complex thrash into laser-focused, mid-tempo heavy metal masterpieces. 1992's Countdown to Extinction and 1994's Euthanasia delivered massive hooks without losing their razor-sharp technical edge. They proved that traditional thrash metal could still dominate the charts if it was smart, precise, and flawlessly produced. Our runner-up is Pantera. To survive the 90s, Pantera did something radical. They completely erased their own 80s history. After shedding their early glam metal skin, they reinvented themselves as the heaviest thing on the planet. Instead of softening up for alternative radio, they became angrier, louder, and more aggressive. The gamble paid off flawlessly. In 1994, the absolute peak of the grunge movement, Pantera took their brutal masterpiece, Far Beyond Driven, straight to number 1 on the Billboard charts, defining 90s metal. And finally, at number 1, the undisputed kings of 90s survival, Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne. While other 80s icons were drowning, these two built empires. Metallica cut their hair, traded thrash for a bluesy alt-hard rock sound, and dropped Load and Reload. It remains their most controversial era, but business-wise, it was bulletproof, keeping them in stadiums while peers played clubs. Meanwhile, Ozzy adapted his sound on 1995's Osmosis. And when alternative festivals refused to book him, calling him an 80s relic, Ozzy and Sharon started Ozzfest. It became the most successful metal tour of the late 90s and launched the next generation of metal. They didn't just survive the 90s, they owned them. The 90s forced a brutal evolution, but it proved that authenticity always finds a way to endure. Which of these 90s metal experiments is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.